Ahoy, ye scurvy dogs and salty sea rats! The name's Blackbeard, the terror of the seven seas, the scourge of every ship that dares to sail the horizon, and the man whose name sends shivers down the spines of all who cross his path. I've plundered more treasure than ye could ever imagine, fought battles that'll be sung about for centuries, and sailed waters most men wouldn't dare to dip a toe in. But today, you won't find me out on the open ocean, no. Today, I'm here with ye, telling me tales, sharing the secrets of the pirate life, and bringing ye into the very heart of the legendary adventures that have shaped the seas. Now listen up, ye sea dogs. If ye want to hear stories that'll make your blood run cold, stories that'll stir the soul and rattle the bones of any man who dares to claim to be a pirate, then ye best stick around. This here be Animated Legends TV, the place where the myths of old come alive, where the legends of the sea, the monsters of the deep, and the great pirates of history gather round the fire to tell their tales. And let me tell ye, ye want to be part of this. The only way to make sure you don't miss out on a single story is to subscribe to this channel, right here, right now. Aye, that's right. Hit that button and join the crew. Because it's through this very channel that the legends of pirates like me, along with all the other creatures of myth and lore, find their voice. And believe me, you don't want to miss out. If you've got the guts to listen to tales of treasure, betrayal, and the very spirit of the sea itself, then you'll be wanting to be part of this crew. For here, every tale is a new adventure, and every story is more legendary than the last. So, don't be a landlubber. Subscribe to Animated Legends TV and become part of something bigger than ye could ever imagine. Ah, you see, when the sea's at her wildest, when the waves are crashing high and the storm is roaring like a beast with a hunger for blood, that's when the real strength of a pirate crew shows itself. The wind howls through the sails, the ship creaks and groans under the strain, and the fear starts to creep in among the crew. But I tell ye, when fear begins to take hold, it's time for a little reminder of what makes us pirates. I've seen it with me own eyes, more times than I care to count. The ship bucking and pitching, the sky dark and full of anger, the thunder cracking like a gunshot. Ye could hear the fear in the voices of me men. They looked to the horizon, looking for an escape from the storm, but none could be found. That's when I'd stand tall in the middle of that chaos, and I'd shout out, "Sing, you dogs! Sing yo-ho, yo-ho!" And just like that, the fear would start to slip away. The men would join in, each voice rising, louder than the last, until the whole ship was shaking with the power of our song. The wind howled through the rigging, but it was nothing compared to the sound of the crew singing. The song would carry us, just like the wind carries the sails, and before long, the storm itself didn't seem so frightening anymore. Aye, that song, it's got a power to it, a power to make the sea herself bow to the will of pirates. The crew would pull together strong again, just like the mainmast, standing firm as the winds blew fierce. The trees in the rigging would bend with the gusts, but the ship would stay true, riding the waves like a beast on the prowl. And that was the magic of it, the spirit of the song, the strength it gave us. It made us more than men. It made us pirates, united, unstoppable. The song turned the tide, so to speak. It gave us strength to face the storm, gave us courage to take on whatever the sea could throw at us. And when the storm passed and the calm returned, we'd still be singing, still be sailing, still be free. And the ship? She'd be as sturdy as the day we set sail, ready for the next adventure. So, the next time you find yourself on a ship, when the sea is angry and the winds threaten to tear ye apart, remember this: Sometimes it ain't the strength of the wood or the skill of the crew that sees ye through. Sometimes it's the song. The song that binds us all together, that gives us the strength to fight, to endure, and to thrive, no matter what the sea throws our way. And if ye hear that song, that chant of yo-ho, yo-ho, rising above the wind, know this: there's no storm, no foe, no danger that can break the spirit of a pirate. We'll sing, we'll fight, and we'll sail again, stronger than before. Just like that mast in the wind, we rise again, always. Now, as for those names you've been hearing tossed about, like Flint and Long John Silver, aye, they might think they've earned their place among the legends of the sea. But to me, they're just men. Just men who've sailed, fought, and plundered like any other pirate. But legends like me, we don't just survive the storm, we make it our own. But let me tell you something, those men don't hold a candle to me. Oh, I've heard the stories of Captain Flint, the ruthless, the cunning, the one they say kept treasure buried on some forsaken island. But in my book, Flint's nothing more than a greedy fool who got a bit too cocky and ended up swinging from a rope, just like all the others who think they can outwit the sea. Flint, you see, was no true pirate. Aye, he had gold, he had a crew, but he lacked the one thing that makes a pirate truly great: respect for the code, the brotherhood, the very spirit of the pirate life. Flint was all about the treasure, the power, and the fear he could strike into the hearts of men. But what good is treasure if you don't live for the thrill of the open sea? What's the point of gold if you don't have the freedom to spend it, to live it, to take it wherever the wind blows? And then there's Long John Silver. Aye, Silver. Now don't get me wrong, the man's got a certain charm, but as a pirate, he's a shadow of a real legend. Silver's got his tricks, his silver tongue, and sure, he can charm the pants off anyone who's foolish enough to listen to him, but he's no match for the likes of Blackbeard. You see, Silver's a schemer, a man who thinks he can play both sides, work his way into the hearts of his crew and the pockets of his enemies. He's clever, I'll give him that. But there's one thing he lacks: the raw, untamed fury that comes with being a true pirate. Aye, Long John Silver's a man who'd sell his soul for a piece of treasure. But me, I've got no time for that. I don't need tricks or schemes. I've got the sea, and that's all I need. I don't need to hide behind a crutch or a treasure map to get what's mine. I take it, fair and square, from whoever dares stand in my way. Silver may have a leg, but I've got a reputation, and that's something no amount of silver or gold can buy. Now, let me tell you a little story about my own crew. A crew that would put Flint and Silver's little band of misfits to shame. We weren't about treasure for treasure's sake. We weren't chasing some pipe dream. We sailed for freedom, for glory, for the very thrill of the sea itself. Our ship was a thing of legend, a black behemoth with sails as dark as the night and a crew of the fiercest souls you could ever lay eyes on. We didn't sing just any old tune, like those landlubber sailors who think a song is just a way to pass the time. No, we sang songs of freedom, songs of rebellion, songs that said we answer to no man. We sailed under the Jolly Roger, and let me tell you, when we raised that flag, the world knew we were coming. It wasn't about some buried treasure, some map that led to riches. It was about the life we lived, the life we claimed as our own. Flint and Silver, they might have thought they had the world in their grasp, but they didn't know the first thing about what it means to be a pirate, to be free. One night, after a raid on a merchant ship that went just as planned, I sat with my crew around a roaring fire, the salty breeze whipping through the air. I told them stories of the old pirate kings, of men who never bowed to anyone, not even to the kings themselves. We sang the song, 15 men on the dead man's chest, and every word echoed the promise we made to ourselves. We're free, and no one can take that away. I told my crew, Flint was a fool, Silver's a swindler. They might have their names etched in history, but they'll never be remembered like we will. We're pirates, not some petty thieves. We live for the sea, for the wild unknown, for the freedom that comes with living outside the law. And when they talk about pirates in the future, they won't talk about Flint, and they won't talk about Silver. They'll talk about me, Blackbeard, and the legends we've created. Now, don't get me wrong, I respect the old ways, the pirate code, but I won't bow to any man who thinks he's better than the sea. And that's why Flint and Silver, as much as their names are whispered with awe by land dwellers, don't hold a candle to what we've built. We are the true legends of the sea, and that's a legacy they'll never touch. But before I leave ye, let me set the stage for ye to understand just what it means to live a pirate's life. It's not all gold and glory, aye, that's true. It's a life that calls to those who would rather live free than follow the rules of the land. We are the outcasts, the rebels, the ones who dare to claim the open sea as our home, no matter the cost. For us, freedom is the greatest treasure, and the sea is the only kingdom worth ruling. Now, when ye hear that familiar chant, yo-ho, yo-ho, don't just think of it as a simple sea shanty. Nay, it's more than that. It's the very essence of what we are. It's the cry of a crew united, singing in unison as one. It's the sound of defiance, the sound of strength, of our unbreakable will to live life our own way. And trust me when I say, we've had to fight tooth and nail for that freedom. So let me tell you, there's no pirate who doesn't know the power of that song. In the worst storms, when the waves are crashing and the ship is creaking like it's ready to split in two, what do? We sing. And that song? It's more than just a noise to fill the silence. It's a lifeline. It's the rope we throw to ourselves when the sea gets too wild. It's the wind in our sails, the spark that lights our way, and the shield that guards us from the fear creeping into our hearts. I remember the days when I'd stand on the deck, the rain pounding down, the wind howling like a pack of wolves, and the crew nervous, ready to crack under the pressure. But me? I'd grab the nearest cutlass, raise it high to the storm, and shout, "Yo-ho, yo-ho!" And do ye know what happened next? The crew would join in, their voices rising above the storm like thunder itself, and for a moment, we were untouchable. The storm didn't scare us. The sea didn't own us. We were pirates, and there wasn't a force in the world that could break our spirit. Now, think about that the next time you hear yo-ho, yo-ho. Think about the battles we fought, the enemies we left in our wake, and the storms we sailed through. Think about how, in the face of danger, the sea, the wind, and the sky themselves couldn't bring us down. That's the power of that song. It's not just noise, it's survival, it's victory. It's a reminder that we are pirates and we are free. So, what does that mean for ye, eh? Are ye ready to embrace the pirate's life? Are ye ready to join the ranks of those who dare to live by their own rules, to chart their own course, and to sing that song of freedom whenever the winds grow wild? Or will ye stay landlocked, tethered to a life of comfort and certainty? If you want to know more, if you want to dive deeper into the tales of pirate legends, then you better subscribe to Animated Legends TV. This channel is where the stories live, where the voices of pirates, kings, monsters, and heroes echo across time. So don't just sit there, ye scallywags. Join the crew, sail with us, and become part of a legend that will never fade. Now, here's a question for you to ponder as you drift off into the night. If you had the choice to live the pirate's life, freedom, adventure, and danger all in one, would you take it? Or would ye shy away, too afraid of the storms, the battles, and the unknown? Leave your answers in the comments, and let's see who among ye has the courage to call the sea home. Until next time, may your sails be ever full, and may the wind always be at your back. Remember, live free, sail hard, and above all, keep singing that song. Yo-ho, yo-ho, and good night, ye landlubbers.